Welcome back to another episode of Unscripted, the go-to podcast for those flipping the script and taking the unexpected path. I'm your host, Jessica Bergio, holistic life and business coach, author, speaker, and self-proclaimed high-energy hype girl. Each week, I'm bringing you inside. No gatekeeping here. I'll touch on proven holistic business strategies, powerful mindset shifts that have led my clients through massive transformations, and no BS conversation with industry leaders designed to help you get out of your own way to actively pursue a life of purpose. If you're ready to ditch the limitations at the door, hit follow and get ready to be activated to step boldly towards your big goals. Now let's dive in. Happy freaking New Year. Is it 2025? Are we in the future? Why do we not have flying cars yet? I don't know. I am so grateful to be here with you right now. I am overjoyed with energy and excitement as I record this episode just a few days before the actual New Year's Eve. I wanted to share and drop in with you 6 lessons from 2024 that I was either reminded of or that were really just solidified in my life by a variety of things that happened, life unfolding as it does, right? We talk about life's at us sometimes. And if you've noticed, I was quiet on this podcast for the last couple of months of the year, and there was a reason. So if you haven't listened to the previous episode that just dropped, go listen to that if you want the behind the scenes reasons as to why I took that much needed pause, what it did for me in my life and my business. And this episode, today I'm going to talk to you about these lessons as they corresponded to those moments of pause in my life and some of the things that I was able to reflect on that I wanted to drop in with you today. So I'm just going to jump into these. We'll unpack them as we go. And I really want to hear from you. I really want this podcast to be a very interactive space. I need that from you. I am a human. I am a projector on the human design space, and we love validation. But more so, that word is kind of trending. I want to know that we're connecting. I want to know that you are getting what you need when you tune in with me. And if you feel like there's a few things that might be missing or you want a little bit more depth in one area or another, I'll only know that if you share with me. Podcasts are not like social media. I cannot see who likes these. I cannot see who downloads these episodes. Instagram, I can. We can interact over there. It's an engagement platform, right? Podcasting is not. It's free for you to listen to, but I don't get feedback from my listeners. I never know who's listening, how it's affecting them, what impact this might have on their day. If there was a takeaway, if I was able to shift your perspective just 1% in order for you to feel better, take something tangible away to implement into your life, whatever that looks like, I'm begging you, it literally means the world to me to hear from you. So I'm always just so freaking grateful when you guys do drop in with me, leave me a voice note on Instagram, or leave me a review for the podcast. The reviews are literal game changers. That is like a love language unlike anything else, because not only are you sharing me with other people, but you're hyping the show and helping me expand this into more people's ears. And I've been at this now for about 4.5 years. We're well over 300 episodes. There's so much good shit on these episodes. If you just dig in and start Googling around for things that you might want to hear from, I'm not for everybody. I got an edge to my voice. I'm very focused when it comes to helping people get results in their life and business. I'm not so good at sugarcoating stuff, though most of you, by the time you reach somebody like me, don't really need the sugarcoating. You like that this is a no BS podcast. Maybe you feel more seen and heard because I'm not afraid to call you out. I'm doing that with the goal of us all getting the F out of our own way, bringing people with us, getting out of energetic spaces that suck you dry, helping you create boundaries and non-negotiables in your life so that you can stay focused doing the things that bring you the most joy, the most money, the most fulfillment, the most whatever it is you're seeking in life to tap into. You can create that. Let's just kick this motherfucker off right now. You can create any life that you desire. My life is living proof of that. I wish I was more unapologetic on social media to share what the F I've manifested in the last 4.5 years. I don't know if you're watching this on YouTube, but I got a fucking giant rock on my finger from a man of my dreams living a life that I only once freaking dreamed about. That I used to say shit like, oh, must be nice. Those people, I could never. It's fine. I don't need that. No one's going to be able to put up with me. If you have thought something negative, so have I. And that blocked me for so many years when I tried to pretend like I didn't want more in my life. Like I wasn't ready for a partner to come in and support me and hold space for me. I pretended like, oh, I got this. I can do everything on my own. I don't need nobody. I broke the glass ceiling in my industry 20 years ago in my career by, doing things, breaking six figures in my early 20s and then maintaining that, scaling that, and growing my multiple six-figure salon business. I was like, I'm good. I'm good until I wasn't good. And the lies we tell ourselves are the motherfucking things that'll hold us back. And so today's lessons are just very repetitive. I've learned these lessons time and time again, but I feel like breaking them down and sharing them with you today as a reflection will help you understand how maybe you can look back at 2024, find your own life lessons and your own motivators to keep you going, even when life hits you. Because I know it will. People lose people in their life, people lose jobs, bad shit happens all the time. But how are you regulating yourself so that you can hold that energy when it does come your way? So that you won't get knocked down, you won't get taken out of the game, and you won't F up your goals by self-sabotaging, by letting other people's bullshit get in your way. So the first lesson, life is short. You got to go for it. What does that mean? Long story long, there has been a few different things in my life that haven't worked out the way I thought they would. Anybody? Anybody? Can you relate? You're like, well, shit, that didn't turn out the way I thought it would. And sometimes you're embarrassed. Sometimes you fail to the point of like, I lost some money or a lot of money. And often, we sit in that like, oh, hell, that happened or that didn't go the way I wanted to energy. And then we don't go for it again. We feel like, oh, I tried that. It didn't work for me. Oh, I attempted that, but it didn't work. Or maybe you tried it a couple times. I'll just give you a little credit, but it didn't work. And we tell ourselves like, I'm too old for that, or I can't change, or I can't pivot, or I can't learn something new. Life is so short and we have so many resources. I have lost some really good friends over the last couple of years that had such big dreams, such big visions and goals. And it is in their name that I still show up every day when shit gets hard. My friends that can no longer train at the gym because they're not here to train anymore. When I'm having a hard workout, I think about people who can't do what I'm doing and what a gift it is to move my body and to eat healthy food and to have the money to buy the nice groceries. So life is short. You got to go for things sometimes and be unapologetic about your dreams, even if they're bigger than everybody else around you. I've recently reopened a space that I thought I would never do again. I have my own brick and mortar again, creative house here in downtown San Diego. I launched an event again called the Entrepreneur Success Series with my partner, Jamie. We hosted our very first one at the beginning of December, and it was a sellout. But don't you think for a second that I was worried nobody would come? Nobody would buy a ticket. Nobody would show up. But I was okay with that. I was unapologetically okay with that. And that's not the case. We planned for the best. We were aware of what could go wrong, maybe nobody showing up, right? But it all went better than it could be. And that's the lesson. Life is short, go for it. It's probably going to turn out better than you ever thought it would. Lesson number 2, action breeds confidence and clarity. Sometimes we need to take action towards something, especially if it's something we think is going to have a result that we want, because maybe it's not going to. And that's going to give you the clarity like, oh shit, yeah, that's not really what I want to do. That's really not where I want to go. That looked shiny for somebody else. That looked like the grass was greener, so I went for it. But you're only ever going to know the answer if you go for it. And in doing the things, we sometimes hear the word imposter syndrome. Oh, I feel like an imposter starting a podcast. Oh, I feel like an imposter putting myself on social media and talking about things that maybe somebody else is more of an expert in, but you're just a beginner. So rephrasing that feeling like imposter syndrome to, oh, I'm just new at this. Why would I feel confident doing it? I've never really done it before. And maybe you've never had any training on it. Maybe you need to go get a little education or training, or you need to study your own tape. That's what I always call it when I'm teaching people how to podcast. Watch your videos back. Listen to yourself back. If you're saying and like and weird pauses and you're stuttering, you just need to practice. You just need to practice and you need to own wherever you're at in your journey, because people want to see the process. They don't need to see some shiny after, oh, you got it all figured out. You need to be documenting things as you go and grow because people respond to that. It makes you relatable. And it also allows you to fully show up in your authentic power and own where you're at in your journey. If you are starting something new, own that shit. People love to watch people come up. Secretly, people want you to win. I promise you. If you are surrounded by memes or comments or people talking about haters, I don't know anything about that. I don't get any haters. I don't get anybody sending me hateful shit. None of that. I don't get anybody trying to steal my Instagram account. Now, please don't come at me. I'm going to knock on wood for that one. I don't look for it. I'm not worried about it. That shit doesn't bother me. I'm so unfazed when it comes to caring about what other people think because I'm so focused on what it is I want to create in this world. And it changes from time to time, but I stay focused on what is feeling purposeful for me. And I only ever really know if I'm in purpose if I'm taking action and doing the things, right? So, lesson number 3. This leads us to the self-care part. How can you hold space for going for things and taking action if you're not regulated? So, self-care has to be a priority. And there was a time in the beginning of the year of 24 that I wasn't putting self-care as a priority. Yes, I was going to the gym. Yes, I was trying to eat healthy, but I was still not as consistent as I needed to be in order to hold the space for what I want to call into my life. And so I was at my heaviest weight, truth be told. If you look back at videos from earlier in the year, I've dropped about 12 pounds, which is huge for someone who's 5'5" and who has been training and working out majority of their life. Since I was a small kid, I did gymnastics, I swam, I played competitive sports. Like I was always athletic. And then I got into competitive bodybuilding and figure competitions. So aesthetics were one thing, but like taking care of myself on a cellular level, taking away stress. I know that's what helped me drop the last 10 pounds was alleviating the stress from the pause. If you listen to the last episode, I talked about my pause, why I did that, and the clarity that came through for me on that. So go tune into that episode if you haven't listened to it yet. And then the other part that this self-care has helped me with is patience. Because I'm good, because I've been taking care of me, my cup is so full. I have more patience for everybody around me, which makes me a better person to be around, which allows me to show other people love and compassion. And when we respond to chaos and fuckery with compassion, oh my God, people are just like blown away. If you can hold more, you can hold more. And what I mean by that is you can hold more space for people. If you can hold the energy of the world around you, you are going to be a magnet for money. People pay people to hold space. I'm not, if you want truth, that's me over here, right? So putting yourself first is not selfish. Focusing on self-care, regulating your nervous system. So I've implemented yoga at least once a week, cold plunging a couple times a week, putting my cardio back in there, making sure I'm eating good, fasting when I need to. My body really responds to intermittent fasting. You got to find what works for you. That's not a one size fits all for everybody, but managing your stress level is huge. Also checking in your hormones. I had to get some hormone replacement therapy started. I'm 43, almost 44. So don't be afraid to, I'm going to skip to number 6, right? Which is asking for help. If you feel like something's off in your body, if you feel like you need more support in the self-care area, ask for that help. Find people who can support you in that and pay for it if you need to. Like I had to pay for the naturopathic doctor to run my tests, figure out which hormones I was lacking in. I had to figure out what other things I needed to be on so I could help regulate my nervous system, the stress levels, get the cortisol down in my body, which was all I needed to do to release these 10 pounds, which make me feel so much better in my body. I feel so much more confident. My clothes fit me again. It's a world of like difference. So obviously number 6 was asking for the help. I'm going to circle back to that one. But let's jump back up to number 4. The 4th lesson that I really learned in 2024 that I think I actually learned this time, because I feel like I've talked about this before, but like I actually feel like I learned it for the 97,000th time, is that failure is just life's lessons. I'm so grateful for all of the life's lessons because failure is usually the direction you needed to go in order to not do that thing or in order to maybe pivot. Reopening this space for me has been a game changer because I feel so grounded in this space. I feel so in my purpose with this space, so clear, so focused, and I feel so happy, which then has a ripple effect in my life and in my business. So finding the gratitude for things that feel like a failure in your life, that could be one person coming to your launch, that could be nobody showing up for your launch, that could be nobody listening to your podcast or downloading it, that could look like you putting yourself out there and not getting the responses that you want. Remember that failure is just there to teach you how you can kind of edit what you're doing and make some adjustments. It's not about quitting. It's about how can I ask better questions to get better answers? How can I show up a little bit different to get different results? 5th lesson. This is a good one. I feel like sometimes we have to start over in order to see what's possible. So starting over as many times as you need to. And that kind of goes along with the failures. If you feel like you're constantly having to start over, it might be a sign that you're out of alignment. It also might be a sign that your consistency sucks and you're not trying things long enough in order to see the results that you want. So starting over as many times as you need which could look like every Monday you're starting over with your gym routine. Every Monday you're going to eat healthy again because you fell off the wagon. Every Monday you're going to start committing to a schedule so that you can pump out content to the level you need to. Maybe you got to start over with not drinking because you promised yourself you didn't want to feel like shit again. It could be anything. Starting over is not a weakness. It is a sign that you're not a quitter and that you're willing to do whatever you got to do to stay in the game. If you're alive, if you're breathing, you're in the game still. And that means sometimes you got to start over every single morning when your eyes open. All right. I know that sounds a little profound and a little deep, but like I said in the beginning of this episode, I've lost a lot of people who are not here to be able to do that anymore. So start over as many times as you need to. Stop sitting in that Eeyore energy, that want, life is hard, everything's happening to me, I have no control of anything, I can't make the right choices because of my circumstances. 2025 is the year of getting the fuck out of your own way, stepping into your big girl, big boy era, whatever that looks like for you, and committing to the process of starting over as many times as you need to, embracing failures as life's beautiful lessons for you, practicing self-care and putting that first and foremost so that you have a full cup to pour over into others. Taking action so that you can breed that confidence and get that clarity that you need, and reminding yourself daily that life is short and to just fucking go for it. And if you need help, ask for it. It's the bravest thing you could ever do. It's your biggest flex moving into 25. Ask for that help, pay for that help, Google that help, show up, take what you need, leave what you don't. You got this. Let's fucking go. 2025 is going to be the year you claim what's yours. Some of us need to find a word to settle into to create intention for the year. I would love to hear what your word is. DM me your word. I'm going to think about what my word's going to be for this year, but I really feel like it's unapologetic. That word feels very open, very spacious, and very freeing. And I'm in a season of my life where I want to be unapologetic, to ask the universe for what I want, to own what I want, and to show up and create a ripple effect that's going to help other entrepreneurs have the business of their dreams, design the life that they want, and to create the impact that I know you're here to create. So let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Oh my gosh, you guys, sending you so much love. We're back, baby. Unscripted is here for you. The community is here. I really do want to create more of a community-based feel for this podcast. I know I have a lot of female founders who listen to the show, a lot of guys who still listen to the show, but I know you love personal growth. I know you love making money and showing up unapologetically. This podcast will always be a heart-centered place that you can connect to for your no BS content, right? We're all about creating strategy that you can implement into your life. But I know that when you're here, I want you to feel seen. I want you to feel heard on the platforms. We're going to have a community where we can all drop in with one another pretty soon. It's getting built right now. And my promise to you is I will never gatekeep anything, the good, the bad, the ugly, so that you can learn from some of my lessons, some lessons from the guests on the show, and some of my clients that have shared. We're here to collaborate. Life's better when you lock arms with other people. We're here to expand your network, grow your business, and dial in your personal brand. And side note, master your marketing. You don't want to be the best kept secret. All right? I'm here for you. I'll see you on the next episode of Unscripted. Giving back is easy. Leave Unscripted your 5-star rating and written review. I appreciate your support more than I could ever put into words.